Okay, so today's tomato review is going to be on the Valencia tomato. And I was pretty excited growing this tomato because it is an orange tomato, and when I say orange, I mean bright sunset orange type tomato, not the orange store, watered down orange looking tomatoes. These are bright orange tomatoes. So this is like a whole different class of orange tomatoes, if you will. So I was pretty excited to actually grow that this year because I did want to grow something a little different in my tomato varieties, and I figured this would be a good one to grow, being it's so orange. I just found it really intriguing, that orange color to it. So let me give you a closer look at the tomato on the inside. That is beautiful orange. Look at the deep orange color on that tomato. Is that absolutely amazing looking or what? That's amazing. Oh, and I seen that, I was like, oh, I gotta give this one a go. I mean, I grow a lot of orange tomatoes, and yeah, there was always like lukewarm, different kind of coloring inside of it, and it doesn't quite look orange. This is like, look at this thing. look at how orange that tomato is. It looks like you cut open a carrot almost. I don't know if my camera's coming in clear or what, but it's pretty incredible, to be honest with you. You got to block that background for me to get. So that's that, and here's a good example of what they look like. You're going to get tomatoes around this size here. They're a nice slicer size tomato. And this particular one here is absolutely gorgeous. I might just actually eat this one with a little bit of sea salt. Let's cut it in half, cut it into 4 pieces, dab it in salt, and I'm good to go on that. But that's a good example of what the Valencia tomato should look like. Now I got to make sure I get the spelling right, because sometimes my pronunciations ain't right, because a lot of times the markings on my tags get faded from the sun, and so I know what it is, but I might not be pronouncing it correctly. So just want to give you a better look at it before we take it away. And that is just a keeper right there, folks. So here it is, and it did split on me. We've been getting a lot of rain, and when that happens, the tomatoes split. So here it is. Let's give it a bite. Wow. Holy mackerel. Man, that thing was like eating a peach, literally. You ever eat a very juicy, wet and moist, juicy peach, and you get that quick rush of flavor, but it's really wet, so it's kind of running on your face and everything? This was like eating a very wet, juicy peach, and it was sweet like a peach, and it was kind of had an aftertaste of like a peach, but, of course it tastes like a tomato. But it does have some peach-like undertones or something to it. Very strange. Here's the other half. I'm going to take another bite off here. Well, because the tomato is so soft and juicy in the middle, because I really let these ripen up good. And because it's so soft and juicy in the middle, the skins tend to be tough. But that is perfect for making tomato sauce, because you don't have to peel your tomatoes when they get like that. You just sit there and squeeze out all the flesh out of the tomato. You cut a little X on the bottom. You go like this. You go cut a little X, squeeze out all the innards, and then take your hand and then macerate that skin around with all the pulp in it, and then you right there peeled your tomatoes. You don't need to blanch them. That's how I like to make my tomato sauce, because sometimes I make what's known as cold tomato sauce, and cold tomato sauce is tomato sauce that's not cooked over 180 degrees. So you cook it a little bit, but not enough. You just want to bring the temperature up so some of the solids can break down on it, and you don't bring that temperature any higher than 180. So it depends. Sometimes I do cook like that. But this tomato is absolutely delicious. As far as the sweetness on this thing had to have been like around 35%, which is getting into the high end of sweetness. Usually a lot of the sweetest cherry tomatoes might be like 35 and 40%. So that's pretty high for a tomato this size to have that level of sweetness. It was just juicy and very sweet. Now the tangy part came in too. Tangy part was coming in like around 32, was slightly under, and that contrast between the tangy and the sweet was, to me, perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It was a target taste that I'm looking for in the tomato. It was just perfect. And then, of course, you have the moisture in the middle between those two numbers, and you have that moisture part, and that moisture part is very important because dry tomatoes are not fun. That's a saying I should actually make a motto. Dry tomatoes are no fun, and we don't like dry tomatoes. We like our tomatoes to be not too mushy, but when we're eating them raw, we want them to have a little firmness to them, but nice and moist. You want that juice from the tomato to quench your thirst. And this tomato definitely delivered that, 100%. This is a perfect tomato to grow and eat. In fact, my mouth is watering to eat another piece off of this thing. I mean, it's that good, guys. And you got to understand, I'm doing 5-6 tomato reviews a day. I'm eating tomatoes all day long. I'm getting sick of eating tomatoes. I eat so many tomatoes. But this one is actually drawing me back in. Believe it or not. I actually got to go for a piece here. I just cut it. Look at that. It's all meat, too. The whole thing is all meat. There's no seeds on here. I won't be able to offer you seeds this year. No seeds I got out of it. Let's give that a bite. That tomato is absolutely delicious. My God. I can't imagine how delicious a sauce would taste if you made it with this tomato. And I didn't even use any lime in the soil. I just put the plants in the ground, let them grow. And boy, these tomatoes are rock star delicious, man. Wow. That is something, seriously, something else. Wow. I can't wait to finish this one piece here. It's got a little bit of, it's split here from the rain. So I'll just cut and peel that part away. I'm going to eat every piece of this tomato. That is a pleasure right there. That is pleasurable to eat that thing. So anyways, that's it. That was your tomato review for the Valencia tomato. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.